What up, YouTube? Ooh. Oh man. Wait. This isn't my motorcycle. What? Oh yeah. This is Simon's bike. So Simon headed off back home where he's from, and he needed to take his bike in today for a little bit of a service. And what he's experiencing is kind of a inner primary bearing noise, really. So he dropped it off at my place since I live so close to the Harley shop. And I'm gonna go ahead and take it in there for him. That way he ain't got to worry about it. We didn't have to drop it off 2 days early, seeing how we were riding yesterday anyway. So, but yeah, I thought this would be a good chance to, you know, feel the difference between my 2017 Road Glide Ultra and his 2018 Road Glide Special. So, not a huge difference. He doesn't have a tour pack. He's got the stretched bags. As far as stock options, that's really it. As far as like how the bike handles, the Special obviously comes with all this blacked out stuff. It blacked out motor, blacked out pipes, black bars. Me personally, I'm more of a black and chrome kind of guy. I had colored bikes for a little bit, and then ended up I had a red Street Glide. I painted it all matte black, and I've had black bikes ever since. I enjoy my black Harleys, as common as they are. You just got to do your own little things to them so they stand out in the crowd. It'd be kind of cool if this guy was the speed limit though. So even though they're pretty much from like this forward, it's pretty much the same bike, really. But it's insane how you take my tall windshield and you put a shorter windshield on it, and it feels like such a different bike. This thing, it just handles so well. I mean, my Ultra handles well too, but you take the weight of the tour pack off the back of it, and it's just insane. Now, originally I had thought about taking the tour pack off of mine when I first got it, but I use it so much. I use my tour pack more than I use my saddlebags. It's just so convenient keeping the weight right there over top of, you know, in the middle, in the center, instead of putting it on one side. So, and I haven't really gone on a big like overnight trip or anything. I'm going around the view. Haven't gone on any kind of overnight trip and had to pack the bike full. You know, I've gone, you know, all day trips or whatnot, and just really load down the tour pack. That's about it. But handling wise, so we have the same motor. He's got you know, it's stock pipe, stock breather, where mine's got a stage 1 done to it. And you take some weight away from it, and they feel about the same. So I know at one point I think Simon does want to do a stage 2 to this thing, and we recently rode a 2020 Street Glide that had a stage 2 done to it, and he fell in love with the performance of it. That thing would get on it. So I'm pretty sure a stage 2 is in his future, whether or not it's with Harley or not. So, but I know Simon thoroughly enjoys this motorcycle, and we've always joked around about switching bikes when we go out and ride, and we haven't yet. I took one of Roanoke Valley Harley Davidson's. They had a stage 2 Road Glide that was a demo that they had for sale. That's a little unnecessary. They had a stage 2 2019 Road Glide that was a demo. They ended up putting it up for sale, and I was close to buying it. The price they had on it was, I mean, unbeatable, really, but it was still more than what I wanted to pay, even with the trade-in on my Heritage I had before. Ended up finding my Ultra and stuck with it. Definitely, it's cool to get on something like this. I'm not a fan of stock bars, for sure. Get on it. Bye, Mustang. This thing will get up and go. I love it. It's a good looking bike. So got the red pony. But yeah, I'll show you, or I'll let you hear what's going on with this thing, and see if we can get it to make its noise. I'm heading to go get my hair cut right now, and when I get there, I'll throw it in neutral, see if y'all can hear the sound that this thing makes. Let you know what a inner primary bearing going bad sounds like. And here to pick me up from the Harley shop is my wife, BB, in her Cadillac. I don't know if you can hear it. Might be hard to hear. Throw it into gear, and the noise stops. So, might be hard to hear on this. I got a clip from my 08 Street Glide that I'll throw on top of this if it's hard to hear, and you get to be able to hear what that sounds like. Let's go get this wig cut. Well, no haircut for me. This is the third time I've tried to get my hair cut here. First time she wasn't there, so I'm committed, and my girl wasn't there, so I came back a second time, and it was Christmas Eve, and she got off early. So this time there was some kind of malfunction, some kind of mess up in their shop, and they locked the doors as I was walking to them. So no haircut for me till Sunday. So go ahead, head to the Harley shop and drop off Simon's bike. BB's gonna meet me there. She's gonna come pick me up. But I am just enjoying being out. I know it's a short ride, but daggum does it feel good. Just a little bit of a nip in the air. Bikes always run better when it's a little chilly out. This guy don't like his turn signal. But yeah, I thought this would be a pretty good time to give you my opinion on a Road Glide special. Riding with Simon so much lately, I see him really, I mean, he lays into this bike. He pushes this thing to the limit. So being on my Road Glide Ultra, which is the first Road Glide I've ever owned or really ridden for as long as I have, to see how he rides. I don't ride like that, and I think if I had this bike, I would probably ride the way he does, because it does feel a little bit more nimble than my Ultra. So we got the same size motor. Essentially the bikes are the same minus a few options. I told him I wasn't going to ride very long. I'm stick to my word, and we'll just take the slightly longer way to the Harley shop and drop this thing off, and we'll end the video there. So this is always a fun little road if people don't go below the speed limit. But look at that view. A little crest of the road there. Roanoke just killing it over here. One thing I don't like, and I never have liked any Harley that I've ever ridden, is stock bars. I don't like, well, what we call it is T-Rexing. So it's when your arms are a little bit bent when you're riding. Me, like, if I want my arms to be straight out, I'm leaning back real far, where this is like my normal straight up and down riding position. My arms are slightly bent. Harley's got this weird thing that they think your wrists go like this. Like, who rides? If my hand's gonna be gripping this and my arm is gonna follow, you know, in a straight line of my wrist, you know, my arm's like this. No one rides like that. So it's almost like you're at this weird angle. Probably see it better if I wasn't wearing gloves, which I always wear gloves when I ride. But it's just this weird angle that they got. So I've never been a fan of stock bars on any stock Harley Davidson. That was another reason I got my Ultra, is because even from the pictures I could tell that it was they had aftermarket bars. So just one more thing that I didn't have to do to it. And of course they didn't price it to where they included the $3,000 worth of extras on the bike into the price. So it worked out in my favor. I was really lucked up with that bike. I'm gonna take a right. Definitely stock Harleys are louder when you're behind them or when you're not on top of them. Went out riding and Simon rode Dakota's Sportster, and I couldn't hear this thing over her pipes at all. Even now with the wind noise, it's hard to even hear the bike. I mean, if you get on it a little bit, you can hear it, but no, not with the wind noise and just cruising when you had like a steady cruising RPMs. So Roanoke, we're coming for you. But Roanoke Valley Harley Davidson is pretty cool. Simon, I mentioned earlier the issue he's having on this thing is an inner bearing noise, or inner primary bearing noise. And he actually, I stopped him outside of my house a couple months ago. Him and his girl were leaving, and I heard that familiar noise that I heard on my 08 Street Glide. I stopped him. I was like, dude, you got to get that checked out. I know exactly what that is. Since he's under warranty, he was able to go straight in, and they ended up replacing it. It wasn't very, judging by the ticket, it wasn't very expensive for Roanoke to fix it. Started hearing it again a little bit after he got that replaced. Woo, U-turn. Yeah, he started hearing it again, and I told him it sounds like it's going bad. So I talked to Larry, one of the service guys here, and he said it's uncommon that it goes bad that quickly. I mean, that might have been a couple thousand miles ago, but it's uncommon. So it could have been a bad bearing that they put in. That's rare as well. I mean, he's under warranty. He rides the hell out of this thing. So they're gonna check it out while he's out of town and see what they can do about it. So I'll wonder if I can get this noise recreated. Well, it's actually 3 days later, and picking Simon's bike up from the Harley dealership. Since I live so close and it took me 10 minutes to walk here today, I'm gonna take it back to his house. They came up, said it was not an inner primary bearing noise, and that it was just the sound of his gears, and said next time use synthetic oil for synthetic gear oil. Woo, get on it. So I did the other day when I dropped it off, and I said I was going to take a video of how it sounded. I took my GoPro off. Took my GoPro off and left my mic adapter plugged in, so it didn't record anything or any of the sound of his engine. So I'm hoping the little ride back to the house is going to warm up the bike enough to where you can hear what we were thinking it was. And I'm still going to throw in the video of my 2008 Street Glide that we had the issue on. See you back at the house. let's see if we can make this sound. I don't know if you can hear this. All right, you pull the clutch in, out, in, kind of goes away, out. So there you go. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big old thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe for me. Y'all have a good one. Bye. You like this look? Look good?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah? I almost had one.
I like Gina.
You like Gina?
This looks like the teenage version of your bike. Your bike has like tattoos, has been to jail twice. And this bike is more like a still like bar hopping type of partying.
An adolescent ultra. Adolescent frat boy, where the Road Glide Ultra is the old man, seen it, done it.
Love you.
Love you, bye.